style, we saw the return of young Master Whittaker. By the way, Ben, I hope I haven't heard this right, that you don't want to come on a show with us. I hope I haven't heard that right. What did we make of the performance from Ben Whittaker? He came back in style, didn't he?
Yeah, Benjamin Gavazi was a guy that come with an impressive record, but with no real substance to it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I thought.
19 wins against 1 loss, 13 KOs, but no substance. And look, it was a lose-lose really for Ben Whittaker going into this one, because for Gavazi, you go, right, Ben Whittaker's got to get rid of him and got to get rid of him in style. And he'd done that, and he'd done it very, very early. And I thought it was an impressive performance. I thought he went out there and, yeah, established himself as one of the leading, you know, prospects in the country right now, for sure. And he needed that after derailing against Liam Cameron.
Absolutely.
And getting him back on track now. You look at that there and go, you know what? That was really, really impressive. You know, that was clinical, that finish. I liked it.
Were you, were you very impressed with Ben Whittaker in this fight? A lot's made of the fact that he's now got Andy Lee in his corner and what that's going to bring. I mean, maybe ask Joseph Parker what he thinks about having Andy Lee in his corner for that fight. But the fact is, Andy Lee's brought in with a reputation, does a great job most of the time, and is a great trainer. Were you impressed with this new version of Ben Whittaker? Not new.
Well, it is kind of new, isn't it? Well, impressed might be the wrong word, because I know what I'm watching, but I'm excited now. The Ben Whittaker train, for me, never left the station with Boxer. For whatever reason, he's got to take some of that blame. Boxer's got to take some of that blame. It just never went. Saturday night, I thought, was absolutely perfect from start to finish. The ring walk is supposed to last longer than a fight against this fella. Yep. You've got Dizzy Rascal giving it the big, and everybody's pumped up. You're all enjoying yourself. He gets in looking dead flashy, knocks the dude out dead quick. Brilliant. We know the level. I personally would go maybe another 2 or 3 of them just to keep pumping the name of Ben Whittaker. And I'm saying over the next 6 months, don't hang about with him. Don't let's wait 3 months, 4 months for another one. Go again. Just keep churning it out before you then start to talk about any real significant level. The likes of the Lyndon Arthurs, the Craig Richards, those types of characters. Just hold off for a second, because for me, I looked at Saturday night as the debut, I know he's had 10 pro fights, but that was the one where you're thinking, right, he's here now. Let's do a couple more of them before we start talking about something proper, maybe in the middle of next year.
It's an interesting take. I mean, tell you who does give us an interesting take all the time, and we've grown to love him for them, is Dave Allen on various subjects. Listen to him talking about Ben Whittaker.
If you look a few fights back, he got a draw with Liam Cameron, and he was really struggling in that fight. And Liam Cameron's a good fighter, but when you're talking about Benavidez, Yard, Benavidez, before Batavia, he's not even in them conversations. No. You know, you can maybe discuss Yard and Boatsy now, but he'll not be in with them anytime soon. I think he'll be boxing Aziz Richards, maybe the winner of that, maybe Lyndon Arthur for the European title. Mm-hmm. I'm not sold on him. I think he's an amazing talent, but as a pro, the first Cameron fight put a lot of questions in my mind, whether he has the goods for the pro game. But I guess we'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt for now after the other day's performance and see where he goes. He has 3.5 million followers on Instagram, I believe. You know, he's a big name. I think they want to bring massive boxing to the Midlands. You know, I think that's something that's not happened for a long time, if ever. And I think Eddie's hoping that Whittaker's going to be a superstar. You know, I think he has everything to be one. But will he be good enough? That is the question. He has everything, but possibly actually what he can do in the ring. I'm not sure. If I was a betting man, I don't believe he's going to make it to the very top. But we'll see soon, hopefully.
Inimitable Dave Allen style. I don't think he's having him. Are you, Paul? You've got a vested interest in this division. Maybe Callum is a long way away from Ben Whittaker. I think for Ben Whittaker's sake, he should be. Yeah. But are you having him?
I'm having him. I'm just not having him just yet. But that's fine. That's normal. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to push too fast. But Liam Cameron, who we had on recently, who's a good lad, a lovely lad, and a good fighter. Yep. That was a slip up for him, and he should have beat Liam Cameron in the first fight the way he did in the second fight. But the fact that he never, the method of the end and the drama around the ending.
Was it a good thing for him though? Was that a good thing? Did they give him a boot up the arse? Take him away from being on catwalks?
For me, it raised more questions than answers.
Did it?
And I did a video on him last week saying he's still got a lot of boxes to tick for me. But I went over to him and I seen him in Istanbul after the second Cameron fight and I shook his hand and I said, just want to say, I thought you handled it really well. I thought he showed a bit of a human side in him in the fact that he let his emotions out as well. He is a normal person in there. He's got to play the character. He's got to play the act. He started, so he's got to finish. But he's exciting. He's a talent, and I thought he looked great on Saturday night, albeit against limited opposition, but he looked really good.
I thought it was the kick up the arse that he needed against Liam Cameron, if I'm totally honest, because we always said that he's had star quality, and if he can keep delivering, he's going to go on and he will be the superstar of British boxing for sure. And I think that he is well back on track now.
The thing is,
he has that potential. Whether he's got that likability
or not. The thing
is,
though, Spence, this is my only worry with him. What happens when the next time a fight gets hard and it's going against you? It's not all your own way. That's the question.
Well, that's the question.
That's the only questions I've got about him.
To some extent, some of us were hoping, to some extent, that Liam Cameron was going to ask him those questions again in the second fight. Now, we could turn around and say that he didn't get a chance because Ben did what he should have done in the first fight, and he should have never been asked those questions in the first fight.
I agree, but these type of opponents in Britain alone, Zach Parker, Brad Ray, Dan Aziz, Richards, Lyndon,
he's going to get asked.
They will, or they could, or they have the potential to ask them questions. If he wipes them out, he's definitely the real deal.
Absolutely.
But that adds to his excitement, though, doesn't it? Now, because we've got that question mark. If it happens again, how's he going to come through
tuning
that?
in no matter
like
what,
I say, that might be the moulding of him. That that kick up the arse that he had against Liam Cameron.
Absolutely, and the reason I like him, the reason I like watching him is I could never have done that as long as a million years.
No, he's a
fight
star.
that way.
He's got bags
the
of charisma.
style's great to watch.
He's
He's a
got bags of charisma.
talented fighter.
Talking of great fighters and other great fights, we have seen the making of the light welterweight fight between Teofimo Lopez and Shaka Stevenson, which is a great fight. Before we get into it, let's listen to the two boys talking back in September.
I'll be honest, I'm going to be real honest. He was a lot better younger.
Oh, he was better when he was younger?
Especially at the JOs, Junior Olympics.
He was whooping feet, yo. All right. He was crazy with it.
Yeah, he was mad nice.
You don't think he developed enough power or something?
It's not about the power. I think that he just focusing too much on one arsenal.
What, the defense?
Yeah, defense. This defense.
Yo, don't tell me too much, because I don't want you to say that you told me the game plan, you gave this, so I don't want no excuses.
So
don't say too much.
All right, Canelo Crawford.
No, I could give him that. I could tell him all the game plans and everything, because a true master in anything in boxing, the sport, you got to master yourself. You got to learn how to beat yourself. So if I give you all the tools on how to beat me, and I beat you.
I already know how to beat you, bro.
Nobody beat me.
I already know how to beat you.
All right, well, you guys tune in early 2026.
Easy.
It's going down. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Sugar and Sweet. We're going to make it nice and pretty for you all.
This has a super fight written all over it, doesn't it, Adam? There was a period of time where Teofimo Lopez went missing for a little bit and people started to question who he may or may not fight. We saw him dominate Arnold Barbosa Jr. in such a way that perhaps we didn't expect him to be so convincing. He's a great fighter. Shakur Stevenson's a great fighter. This is a great fight, isn't it?
They need each other. Boxing needs it. In and around these weight divisions, you've got so many great names, especially over in the States, and they all just need to get it on in order to try and boost people's perception of what boxing is over in America. Lopez, when you look at his career, there's some performances along the way that do look a little bit flat, but I personally put that down to having jeopardy in the fight, where maybe he's overlooked whoever he's fighting. When he's gone in with Richard Comey, when he's gone in with Lomachenko, when he's gone in with Josh Taylor, you're seeing the very best versions of Teofimo Lopez. From a Shakur Stevenson point of view, we're talking about a generational great here. A guy that is going through the weight divisions, picking up the championship belts. He might not necessarily have the name. Maybe Oscar Valdez might be the biggest name that he's been in when he won that championship down a few weight divisions below. This fight, on paper, is an absolute super fight. There's no doubt about that. Wonderful way of starting 2026. I just really hope the styles mix, man, because they've both got a little bit of a tendency for being a bit tentative and having a little bit of a look and being a bit standoffish. I just hope that Teo chases it a little bit and makes it a scrap, and therefore we get fireworks in January.
Listen,
it could be a cracker.
I think it's the best fight in boxing to make right now. But like you say, this is for the boxing purists, this one, because you're going to be looking at stuff here. You're going to be looking at technical stuff that maybe people won't see. Like your average fan that just likes to see a good old scrap. Absolutely. It might fall into that sort of bracket because I think both guys have fallen off in the past.
Who wins it?
It's a tough one.
I think they're both gifted. I think they're both very, very gifted fighters, and the term special we don't use too much in boxing, especially if you've been around it for a while, but I think the pair of them as special fighters, I've always rated them massively. Shakur Stevens is one of my favourite fighters, and Lopez is one of them naturally gifted kids.
I think Shakur defensively is a little bit more sound than Teo, and therefore he might be able to win this on the back foot, on points. Yeah.
Can I ask you a State of Nations question about, we seem to see a litany of lighter weight American fighters doing very well and dominating in their divisions, but we don't see that at the bigger weight classes. Why is that?
Money. I think in the heavyweight division, this is really a really interesting point.
Is it the other sports that are drawing them?
Yeah, I think they're all going to the NFL. They're going to the NBA. I think that has been the draw over because of the collegiate
MMA.
system. Yeah, MMA as well. Yeah, the collegiate system has kind of pushed people down certain paths. Obviously, where the most amount of dough is. I think in the States they've got a real job on their hands of getting those big lads, the 6'4" to the 6'9" athletes, to take up the sport of boxing and making it attractive for them when the NFL are offering them multi-million dollar contracts to come and be a linebacker or a defensive lineman. That's where the problem's been, I think, over the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, the fighters come from the grassroots, don't they? And if you look at the history of the sport and going into the Olympics, the Americans always dominated the Olympics, not just the lighter weights, but the heavier weights as well. And we looked just more recently, I think the last Olympics in France, they had 1 bronze medalist. They're not doing it. And so that's where it comes from, the grassroots. And I think that's where they need to get the interest back.
They should be doing it in the amateurs because it's 3-3s now. It's like the pros. It's more suited to the pros. And that's where the Americans were always at the best, when it was more like, sure, obviously you going right back to your Ray Leonard, Holyfields, all them Olympic gold medalists all the way through. They were fighting like pros as amateurs, and then it was an easy transition to turn professional.
Speaking to Bomac about the kids that come into the gyms now, and he said you're not getting the kids that used to come into the gyms now. You're not getting the same volume of kids coming into the gyms now. He was hoping off the back of Terence Crawford in that area and boxing Canelo Alvarez that would sort of reignite something from somewhere to start getting these kids coming back into the gyms, because the gyms are just not as busy out there.